is the odds
Yeah.
say?
Yes.
So, Lori and I don't know if you thought that Trump was going to win
I was with you
Yes.
on the program that was to be aired on election. Remember that, the election
Yes.
day? Then I went to Jerusalem.
Yes.
And then I didn't know what. I mean, at that point, I'm there.
Yes.
And I'm in the old city. And I meet a guy who's a son of Aaron. You know, he has a little shop, and he says to me, he says, so all the polls are this way. He says, "You listen to me." He goes, "Tomorrow, Trump will win the election." He says, I said, very interesting. I went to bed not knowing at that point, to wake up, I look, Trump pulling ahead, Trump doing Trump this, and Trump is president. I mean, this was, who could have done that? That was crazy. And the thing, meaning, he didn't even win the popular vote. In other words, it's almost like God saved us from ourselves.
Exactly.
He didn't win, and so, well, here, look at you mentioned the odds. If you can put on these two clips, pretty much a still, this is clip 13, you'll just see the newspapers. France has more than 99% chance of winning. Okay, now if you can go to clip 14, if you can go straight to there. Trump, look at that, pulls off the biggest upset in American history.
Praise
That was
God.
the biggest upset in American history. Now, if you remember, what happens when Jezebel and Jehu are meeting each other or seeing each other? It says Jezebel put on makeup. Remember, everybody thinks, well, she was trying to seduce him. No, she wasn't. And it says she adorned her head or her hair. It doesn't. Most likely, what that means is she put a crown on. She's going out. She's defiant. She's appearing as queen. She puts a crown on. That's a coronation. Well, amazing, because what happened with Hillary Clinton? She was in New York City. She was preparing the media said it. Why don't you put on clip 15? She was preparing her own coronation. Remember, there were going to be fireworks over New York City. There was going to be all this. It says there was going to be her own coronation. But what happens when that happens is, instead of a coronation, there's a downfall. Now, let me just tell you what we're watching right now with Trump. What did Jehu do? When Jehu came to power, what did he do? He focuses on overturning what Joram and Ahab and Jezebel did before him. So he's an overturner, starting with Baal worship. Remember, Hillary said he's promising to defund Planned Parenthood. Well, back then, Planned Parenthood were the priests of Baal. They were the ones who offered up babies. And what did Jehu do? He defunded them. He cut them off from support, and he literally cut them off. So here now, look clip 19. Look at some articles and to understand what's happening right now with Trump. Clip 19. Trump. First thing that Trump does. What's the first thing that Jehu does? First thing that Jehu does is he destroys the temple of Baal, child sacrifice. First thing Trump does is he seeks to overturn abortion. First thing. He's still doing it, by the way. He just did it again. He sought to cut off again. That's what Jehu did.
That's what he
but
did.
It's not only that. If the next things that he does is that you watch Trump. What is Trump doing? He's overturning Obamacare, overturning the legacy of Obama. What did Jehu do? He overturned the legacy of Joram. He overturned it. That is what overturned, the Iraq treaty. He's overturning it. That's exactly what Jehu did. So what you're watching, one of the things to understand Donald Trump is he is overturning the legacy of the former president and of Clinton as well. That's exactly what Jehu did. That's exactly what Donald Trump is doing. So you want to understand what he's doing continuously. He's an overturner. But also, and if you can have clip 21 ready regarding the temple of Baal, what happens when Jehu rises to power? The temple of Baal falls to the earth. Now, there actually was a temple of Baal in the world that has existed for 2,000 years, withstood every 2,000 years of history. But the paradigm says when Jehu rises, when Trump rises, the temple of Baal will fall. Do you have that? Because I never saw this before. I saw it right now. That is the destruction of the temple of Baal. 2 months after Trump begins his rise, the ancient temple of Baal falls to the earth.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Well, of course, Trump didn't do that, did he?
He didn't know. I'm sure he had no idea.
Wow.
But it happened.
Wow.
Nevertheless, it happened after 2,000 years. Jehu rises, temple of Baal has to fall. It fell.
I want to write him and tell him about it. I mean, somebody's got, we got, yeah, wow.
Now, I want to show you something. that this is where I did not know this before when I wrote the book. And we put it into the other printings, but it's not in the first printings because I didn't know it. But, I mean, I think I tried to get it. But an amazing thing, oh, but before that, let me just say this. How long was Hillary Clinton on the national stage? With her husband, 22 years. Arkansas to the end of the presidency, 22 years, to 79 to 2001, 22 years. And alone, her own political career, how long was she on the stage? 8 years as senator, 4 years as secretary of state, that's 12 years. Then she retired from public life for 2 years, came back for 2 more years to become president. That's 2 more years, that's 14 years.
Wow.
But now, okay, here's what I want to show you. There was a prophetic moment, I didn't know it, at the Democratic convention. And on the very day that they're anointing her, the day that she's going to accept the nomination, and what's she being anointed for? To go against Trump, who's the Jehu. So this is the former first lady versus the Jehu coming against. On that day, a man makes a speech that he has no idea what he's doing that's going to turn out to be prophetic. I mean, prophetic. It's going to tell you exactly what's going to happen, and it's going to link you to the paradigm.
Now, here's a warning to those who might be tempted to spend the next 4 years trying to knock Hillary Clinton down. You better get ready for a woman who won't stay thrown. They threw her down as the first lady, but she didn't stay thrown. They threw her down as a U.S. senator, but she wouldn't stay thrown. They threw her down as a secretary of state, but she wouldn't stay thrown. They threw her down in this very campaign, but she won't stay thrown. No, she ain't gonna stay thrown. She won't stay thrown. She won't stay thrown.
Okay.
This is.
Did you hear
the word?
Did you hear what he said? This was the speech. The speech was, they threw her down. She wouldn't stay thrown. They threw her down, they threw her down, they threw her down.
She wouldn't stay thrown.
She wouldn't stay throwed, is what he said. But yeah, he said throwed.
So,
but now, why is this significant?
My God, Bible.
She is being now. The paradigm is she's following the footsteps of Jezebel. She's being now lifted up to do battle against the Jehu. What happens when Jehu sees Jezebel? What happens to Jezebel? If you go to your computer right now and just take the main words of that speech of her anointing, that day of her anointing, the main words, threw her down. Just Google those words, threw her down.
Threw her down.
And out of all the words in the world, it's going to take you to the Bible. That speech is going to take you to the Bible. It's going to take you to 2 Kings. It's going to take you to 2 Kings 9. It's going to take you to an exact verse, 33. Every single one will take you to this one. And what is it talking about? They threw her down. They threw Jezebel down. The death of Jezebel. The downfall of Jezebel. That's where the speech takes you.
Wow. Our time's gone for this hour. For our show.
It is here, Rabbi.
Oh my goodness.
All prophesied on the day. It was all prophesied.
Can we start tomorrow with where we are now?
Yes.
What's next?
And
this is so great, people. This is new stuff to me because he gives us so much that we can't eat it all at the banquet, but it is tremendous. And this is powerful. You want to close this out because we're out of time.
Yeah, amazing. I mean, God is like the harbinger. People say things they don't know what they're saying, but it's prophetic. God is saying, even on the day, this is what's going to happen. He had no idea, but this is what's going to happen. God was all there from the beginning. By the way, that is we found that, and that is on the prophecy DVD. But it's amazing, and I had no idea of it when I wrote the harbinger. I mean, when I wrote the paradigm, I had no idea of it. But God is on the throne. I mean, He makes even the Democratic convention say what has to be said. It's amazing. God is on the throne. God is on the throne. If we had eyes, and this is what it says, he says we're to be like the sons of Issachar. If you know the signs of the times, we could see all these things, but we don't always know it. But God puts His fingerprints on it. Amazing.